Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. We might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute! Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have...
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. We might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are... CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute! Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty. Because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentleman.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and is seen walking calmly is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have been required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. You accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive pardon, whether he can issue, President's reportedly asking his staff, whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would
can't?
Be a gross abuse of the presidential
it's
pardon
a
authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he
about
get a
this.
pardon also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is...
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
You know, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama-Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes, that's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Stably, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. Bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
The show every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
My. It's Friday. Let's get it on. Good damn morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel, where it's Valentine's Day. All you lovers out there thinking about the beautiful flowers and all that stuff and candy and chocolates and cards and a little bit of... Oh, yeah. A little bit of that, too. You know, since I messed up Funky Friday, I figured we could throw out a little funky jam at the beginning of the show because I forgot to change the music. But you know what? On Valentine's Day, you gotta be thinking the funk. Enough of that shit. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's Friday, the 14th of February, 2025, Valentine's Day for those of you who have a Valentine. And if you don't have a Valentine, you could rent one. That's just wrong. Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful morning. Mine's okay, I guess. Can't complain. Let's just do this thing, because we got some stuff to talk about. So first in the chat today, who was first today? Oh, today first was Samba Bull Nation gets the bell. Didn't I have something? What did I have for you? I can't remember. Was it you that I added some music thing to? And I can't remember what it is. I can't remember. It's not The Price is Right. Here, we'll just give you this one for now. There you go. Happy first on Funky Friday. Good morning also to Kara Soldier, Amazing Disgrace, Gunfox 61, the amazing administrator of the P-Dog Night Discord server and purveyor of bundles and bundles of news. Also, good morning to Avocados Diabli. Did I already say that? No, I didn't, because I didn't play this yet. And also, Tyre Alexander, the Scourge. Also, anonymity Anonymity T2, I'll be back. Mike Savage, Blarg. Who else is here? Now I scroll down a little bit. Resolute Germs in the house. Nice to see you. Johnny Boomer Tech, of course, doing the thing. Attack Alpaca, good morning. Jethro Hetero's in the house. Lord Stanhope, what up? K-Shul, what up, Kirsten? What else is here? I got a meeting. Willie is in the house. Call me Dragon Ass today because I'm truly Dragon Ass today. Okay. Dragon Ass is in the house. Good morning, sir. Also, Green Badger Outdoors, and I'm sure there's a few more rolling in. Also, it's Friday, and every Friday it's Friday Q&A. So the Q&A post is up there. Just click that link and ask me anything. And of course, that means anything. As I'm looking at AD's first question here, and I'm thinking, why do I do this? Why? But yes, you can do it. So, and Jethro Hetero, good morning again, who says, I have already pushed the button to prove it, the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up and share the stream if you haven't done it already. Click that link up there that says, have you shared this stream yet? And give me a let's go over on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, or you can send it, you hit that share arrow or something. Just let somebody know you're here. Maybe they'll come and join us too. In fact, invite them to come join us. Tell them to come on down. Like, what's his name on the old Price is Right? You are next on The Price is Right. Come on down. You know how they do that. All right, so what's going on today? Well, first, let me thank some people because I got to do that. Did I do this yet? Yes, I did. I did click that. So some of y'all have already tweeted out the show. As always, Somnambule Nation. In fact, I'm going to just repost you right now. Thank you for doing that. Also, I got Somnambule Nation with the Let's Go. This is the world's funkiest sing-along. I feel bad I didn't change it to funk today. It's Funky Friday. It's supposed to have funk in the preview. Also, thank you, Resolute Germ. Throwing out the Junkyard Dog. Oh, my gosh. We're talking some old school stuff here. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember the Junkyard Dog. He was one of my favorite wrestlers back when I was a kid. I just thought he was great. Came out with a big chain around his neck and barking. He was a funny dude. And also thank you, Amazing Disgrace. Let's go. Now, why are you punching a duck? I don't even know what that's about, but yeah, let's go. That's funny. And then thank you to people who retweeted the show, Green Badger Outdoors, K-Shul, Kirsten, Somnambule Nation, Resolute Germ, and Amazing Disgrace. Thank you very much. Green Badger Outdoors with the Let's Go, with the running relay race guy. And there you go. So share the stream, do all that stuff. Oh, so a few of you do remember the Junkyard Dog. Yeah, he was great. He was, I always liked, him, and I also liked Ivan Putski. I don't know why I was a fan of Ivan Putski, just a big fat Polish guy. But he was kind of fun too. Whatever. So there you go. All right, let's do this. Let's get into some stuff. Obviously, the big day today is Valentine's Day, and Senator Chuck Grassley posted this: to my Valentine of 70 years, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, Chuck's pretty fucking old. Wait a minute. They've been together 70 years? How old is Chuck Grassley? Like, did they get married when they were teens or something? Holy shnikes. Anyway, and then there's this one from Politarican. Happy Valentine's Day. My heart goes out to all of you, with a little Elon Musk meme there. So anyway, Elon Musk has changed the animation for Valentine's Day. Did he? I don't think he did. Oh, he did. Okay. So when you put the little heart thing on X today, now Elon Musk didn't do it, but his team did. Look what happens when you hit the little heart thing here. Watch. Can you see this? Look down here. But see, it turns into a little box of chocolates. But so there you go. I will share $5,000 to all followers who like this Valentine's Day tweet. I don't think you will. 5,000, maybe 5,000 total. There you go. I'm going to just like it just for the hell of it. Loretta Crypto. I don't believe you. And then it got Bearded Vet throwing up a little Rick Astley. So there you go. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Also people are saying Happy Love Day. Well, I don't know if Valentine's Day is necessarily always about love. Maybe some loving. I'll stop it. Okay. Also trending Parade Day. Now I was thinking, well, wait, Parade Day. What does that mean? Oh, you didn't even see what I put up there anyway in that other one. Anyway, it's also Parade Day in Philadelphia today. Happy Parade Day to everyone who's going to be celebrating the Philadelphia Eagles being Super Bowl champs. So I expect a nice parade, and then there'll probably be someone who'll be burning cars and shit. Someone here says, Happy Parade Day. This is me in 2018. Sorry I couldn't be there today. My friends couldn't go. And then when I found out another group of friends to go with, the flights were all gone. Love you guys. Have fun today. Super Bowl champs, go Birds. All right. So people are excited about Parade Day. It's 7:08 a.m. on Parade Day, and the spots are filling up fast. So they're out there ready for the parade. Hopefully everything goes well. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. There you go. Also, Drake is trending. Well, Drake, not necessarily himself is trending, but Drake, and I'm talking about Drake, the rapper, not my alma mater. Apparently, he put out a new, do they even call them albums anymore? He put out a set, okay, a set. And everyone's talking about it. I mean, and I'm not going to play any of it. But like one of them, the things is called "Give Me a Hug," and apparently people are liking about it. Everybody talking about "Give Me a Hug." Meanwhile, I can't move on from Nokia. There's a bunch of songs that people are talking about on this set. And if you're, congratulations to the Canadian rapper who's not like us. But anyway, yeah, a bunch of people. Give Me a Hug, Nokia, Small Town, Frame Deeper, Drake, and The Party Next Door really dropped album of the year already. So the Drake fans are happy. And some of the people who got invested in that Drake Kendrick Lamar thing, the Kendrick Lamar things, are saying, really? You really forcing yourself to listen to that and say something good about it? I don't know. I don't follow this stuff. I don't pay attention to any of it, so I don't care. But it's trending high, and so I talk about it briefly. Good morning, Nomad.
Stop. Hammer time.
Nice to have you here. And Rod Lyons in the house. What's up? Nice to see you, sir. So anyway, yeah, if you're into the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar thing, there's some more food for your thought. The city of Galveston is trending mostly because of one sign, and let me put this on the screen. This sign was seen in Galveston, Texas. Welcome to the Gulf of America. All right, yeah. So there you go. Oh, by the way, silly me, excuse me. Let me fix, I didn't mean to slight my man Gunfox, but Gunfox has already dropped 3 Hamiltons in the tip jar, and that makes you the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Yeah, baby! And he dropped 3 articles along with it. A couple fit exactly what I wanted to talk about today, too, so we'll get to those soon. But the first one, he says, let's see, this is from an hour ago. What could possibly go wrong? That's a foreshadowing. And then the second one is, oh, my head hurts over this. That's a little more foreshadowing. And then the third one was the deep state under attack. Perfect. This is what I'm here for. These are the kind of articles I need to do. So thank you, Gunfox, for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, in fact, we have a goal somewhere down here, right here, because Lady Boomer and I do not celebrate Valentine's Day, but our anniversary is up next week. So I don't know if I put it in here. If you on 2/22. So if you want to donate something related to that, and maybe we can come close to the goal, because I want to take Lady Boomer out for a nice dinner and maybe some other stuff. You can drop 2/22 in the tip jar. That'd be awesome. Just drop a 2/22 and that'd be cool. And also to prioritize the chat, because it's like a super chat and I just talk about it and whatever. So anyway, all right. So there you go. 30 Galveston. Welcome to the Gulf of America. Right on. But also some people are talking about Jasmine Crockett, and I got to tell you something. You know, my 72-hour rule. And especially when some people put stuff up, I go, check the facts first. So there's some people posting some stuff about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. And this is, someone says developing. And I think it's because the Doge people maybe posted something about this. Developing. Representative Jasmine Crockett now has a reported net worth of $9 million despite being paid $174,000 a year. Representative Crockett owns a $2 million townhouse in Dallas, a $1.5 million loft in Austin, a $1.5 million lakefront cabin in Galveston. Crockett's net worth grew substantially last year during the 2024 election, where she became an overnight star for the DNC. And there are now reports that Crockett is eyeing a 2028 presidential run. With a massive increase of funds, it appears that there could be some truth to these reports. Crockett looks like an entirely different woman before the DNC made her their newest puppet. We will be exposing everything about this fraud and plague to the black community, says Don Lucer. And not everything Don Lucer, Luke, whatever. You got to be careful spreading this, because now first though, let's listen to what Jasmine Crockett sounded like before she decided to go all code switching in Congress. This is what she used to sound like when she was a state representative or something like that.
Hey, it's Attorney Jasmine Crockett, your candidate for State Rep in House District 100, and I've got a really important message. Really important message.
Okay.
And it's not just that Election Day is going to be July 14th, where I'm going to be on your ballot and I should be your choice for State Rep in House District 100, but also that the last day to register, if you've not registered just yet, is going to be June 15th.
Like I said, remember when I used to say she used to sound like a Valley girl? I don't know Valley girl, but you know what I mean? She used to sound all normal. Now she like purposely like total goes out code switching, like sounding all ratchet and shit, and with the fake eyelashes and whatever. I don't understand why she thinks she needs to do that. Is that making her more popular or not? I'm just curious. But anyway, I don't need to play anymore. But now on that note about all those things though, there's a reason you got to be careful when you read stuff on the internet. So here, someone, and I think he took that almost verbatim. Somebody took this verbatim from the other. But this is the Doge News Department of Government Efficiency. And this is the, in fact, I'm going to follow that. This is the, I think it's the official Doge Twitter handle, whatever, X handle. So this is where Lucre got this from. Crockett's net worth grew substantially last year during the 2024 election. Do you think members of Congress use their positions to self-enrich themselves? Now, this is dangerous because, well, not dangerous, but you got to be careful. Here, readers added context they thought people might want to know. This is the community notes on Doge. Representative Crockett's finances are publicly available. She doesn't have a net worth of $9 million, and she doesn't own 3 properties. And this is, so they put her disclosures up here. Okay. Let's see. She has student loans between $15,000 and $50,000 still. She's only a second-term congresswoman, I believe. Member of Texas 30. Position, just what she used to do for jobs, gifts, agreements, schedules. But the thing is, nothing on here says what her net worth is. It says her income, owner value of asset. She owns, looks like 3 stocks or something like that. She owns stock in Moderna. That's interesting. The drug company, you know. So this really doesn't tell you much. Oh, there's 2 more pages. Hang on a second. Let's go to another page. Let's see. Oh, this is page 2. This is page 2. This doesn't really tell you her net worth on her disclosures. Okay. But also they say a search of Galveston property records does not list Jasmine Crockett. So they're looking there. Now, is that helpful? I don't know. But it makes me question just enough to see if this is accurate. So we're going to wait 72 hours until somebody confirms some of that stuff. And I'm sure Jasmine Crockett, if she does not own those things, will be howling to the roofs about it. So always be careful when you read stuff on the internet. You never know how much of it is true. You always got to take that, that giant salt lick of salt to make sure. She may well own properties in other places. Exactly. I don't know. We'll find out. But if she starts squealing, we'll see what happens. So there you go. Moving on. Just the term Adams is trending. So there's a couple reasons. Obviously, New York City Mayor, what's his name? Is this Scott? No, what's his name? Anyway, New York City Mayor Adams. I can't remember his first. I just saw Scott Adams on here, and I know it's not Scott Adams. Anyway, apparently in New York City, the New York Police Department is making arrests at anti-ICE protests in New York City. This comes just hours after Tom Homan met with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, thank you, who agreed to allow ICE to use Rikers Island to house illegals. Wow. And so there's protesters out in New York City, and here's a little taste of that. Well, don't get a taste. Whoa, what the hell happened? That ain't it. Sorry. Wrong button. Here we go. So this is the protest in New York City, and they're arresting people because some are doing things that aren't supposed to be doing. I'm assuming those arrests are people who did shit that they're not supposed to be doing because, cops on Vespas. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. They're probably like meter maid, drops. But so they were doing something else. Oh, good point. No, or who said that? Willie, good point. Everyone should sign up to rate community notes. That way you can see for yourself the level of brigading people do to get shit on community notes up there. Yeah, I exactly. But I always, whenever I see a community note, I want to make sure I go, okay, maybe I should look that up. So anyway, the point is, this was hours after Mayor Adams met with Tom Homan. And then let's see, there was another one here. What was the other one I wanted to show you? Oh, by the way, this is interesting. I think, did we talk about this yesterday? The acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Daniel Sassoon, resigns after refusing to follow orders to drop the case against Mayor Eric Adams. 5 other attorneys have also stepped down. Isn't that 6 corrupt prosecutors America can live without? So I think we read through the
days after the acting U.S.
We may have read through the acceptance of the resignation letter, or did we? Did we do that yesterday? So anyway, here's the report.
Here in New York, resigning just days after the Justice Department ordered her to drop criminal charges against New York City's Mayor Eric Adams.
Now, the Justice Department said that they felt like the prosecution against Mayor Adams was a political prosecution. They said, no, we're not going to do that. So we're gonna drop those charges without prejudice, and then they're gonna, if they decide they really want to bring up real charges later, they can. But they feel like the prosecution was strictly political.
This is another story that continues to unfold in a lot of layers. Justice correspondent David Spunt joins me now live from the Department of Justice. Hi, David.
Hi, Martha, and this is going to continue to unfold over the next few days. So on Monday, acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, former defense attorney for President Trump, running DOJ until Pam Bondi got in as AG, he instructed Danielle Sassoon, the acting U.S. attorney at SDNY, Southern District of New York, to drop the case against Mayor Eric Adams. They called it weaponization. They said he was not able to carry out his duties as mayor. He instructed her to drop it. 4 days later, it's not dropped. I just got my hands literally on an 8-page letter, and he is laying into Danielle Sassoon for not dropping the case. He says, Ms. Sassoon, in response to your refusal to comply with my instruction to dismiss, he
says, I accept your resignation. That's what he said right at the beginning of it. I don't know, see if he'll tell that or not.
To notify you that your resignation is accepted. It says the decision is based on your choice to continue pursuing a politically motivated prosecution despite an express instruction to dismiss the case. You lost sight of the oath that you took when you started at the Department of Justice by suggesting that you retain discretion to interpret the Constitution. So Eric Adams' case right now, Martha, is officially not dropped. A judge would have to sign off on it. Where we are now is that Danielle Sassoon has resigned. The Justice Department will put somebody in that position until President Trump's choice is going to be confirmed. And the judge really doesn't have much recourse. If the prosecution and the defense both agree that Eric Adams' case needs to be thrown out, ultimately, it's probably going to be thrown out. But right now, there's definitely a lot going back and forth between this building here in Washington, D.C. and SDNY over the Eric Adams case, which is still not dropped at this point.
So there you go. But I don't think I read the letter on the show, but yeah, the letter was fairly brutal to accepting her resignation. So pretty wild. So that's why Adams is trending. Moving on. Also, Amir Ali. Now this is one of the judges that decided that judges are going to run the executive branch, and this is what the thing in the thumbnail today up here. This is part of what I wanted to talk about in the main today. So, them here. An Indian judge from Canada named Amir Ali moves here, becomes a judge, and now forces our president to send money to other countries. Time to get serious. Here's the AP story. This is from last night. Breaking. Judge orders Trump administration to temporarily lift funding freeze on USAID or U.S. aid abroad. So here's the story in the AP. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration on Thursday to temporarily lift a 3-week funding freeze that has shut down U.S. aid and development work worldwide, citing the sweeping damage that the sudden shutdown has done to the nonprofits and other organizations, NGOs, that help carry out U.S. assistance overseas. The court ruling was the second to deliver a major setback for the Trump administration and what has been its dismantling of a 6-decade-old U.S. Agency for International Development that was created through executive order, which President Donald Trump and ally Elon Musk accuse of being out of line with the Trump's agenda. Thursday's ruling by the U.S. District Court in Washington is the first ruling that targets what aid groups and others say has been a sudden and absolute cutoff of USAID funds for programs abroad. Now, we've seen some of the damn programs, and wow, I don't know how how those are, beneficial to the United States, but, who knows? Thursday's ruling by the U.S. District Court in Washington is the first ruling that targets what aid groups. Oh, I already said that. The funding cutoff has left contractors, farmers, and suppliers in the U.S. and around the world without hundreds of millions of dollars in pay for work already done and forced wide-scale layoffs among those enterprises. Judge Amir Ali issued a temporary order Thursday in the U.S. in a lawsuit brought by two organizations, the AIDS Vaccine Advocacy Coalition and the Global Health Council, representing health organizations receiving U.S. funds for work abroad. In his order, Ali noted that the Trump administration argued it had to shut down funding for thousands of USAID programs abroad to conduct a thorough review of each program and whether it should be eliminated. However, administration officials have not offered any explanation for why a blanket suspension of all congressionally appropriated foreign aid, which set off a shockwave and upended contracts. Now remember, this is the AP, so they're very they're on the side of the Democrats. Let's keep it that way. Good morning, GDSOB, by the way. And Renee Mayette. Hi, yeah. And Plague Trucker Zach's here in the house too. I'm just missing everybody. Okay, so the language in this article is very obviously favorable to the judge, although this is the judge words. Lawyers for the administration have failed to show they had rational reason for disregarding the countless small and large. Now, and also they use ellipses here, so this is not a full quote in context. It's just they piece two parts put together. Rational reason for disregarding the countless small and large businesses that would have to shutter programs or shutter their business altogether, the judge added. The ruling also bars Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other Trump officials from enforcing stop work orders that the Trump administration and Musk have sent to the companies and organizations carrying out foreign aid work orders. So basically this judge, again, another judge, micromanaging the executive branch. And there's a problem with this. There is a problem with this. The judge isn't on top of the executive branch. And I'll show you the chart in a second. The funding order applies to contracts that were in place before Trump issued his January 20th executive order declaring a freeze on foreign assistance. Ali also rejected the Trump administration's argument that it was buffering the impact of the funding freeze, offering waivers to allow funding to keep flowing in some partners. So a lot of these, for example, some of the food aid stuff that they've been doing, the administration is granting waivers for the freeze on some of these things that are like actually medicine or food or whatever, because they're Democrats are out there screaming, oh, people are dying, people aren't going to get food, people aren't going to get their AIDS, their whatever medicine. No, they've granted waivers for most of those types of things. Ali cited testimony that no such waiver system yet existed and that the online payment system at USAID no longer functioned. He rejected a request from health organizations to challenge Trump's executive order itself, limiting its ruling to temporarily blocking Rubio and other administration officials from enforcing it. So that's a distinction without function. So he didn't rule against the order. He just limited his ruling to temporarily blocking what they could do with it. That makes sense. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols ordered the extension after a nearly 3-hour hearing Thursday. Much of it focused on how employees were affected by abrupt orders by the Trump administration. Musk, who leads the Department of Government Efficiency, to put thousands of USAID workers on leave and freeze foreign aid funding. The judge said he plans to issue a written ruling in the coming days on whether the pause will continue. Nichols closely questioned the governor about keeping employees on leave safe in high-risk overseas areas. When a Justice Department attorney could not provide detailed plans, the judge asked him to file court documents after the hearing. USAID staffers who until recently were posted in Congo had filed affidavits for the lawsuit describing the aid agency all but abandoning them when looting and political violence exploded in Congo's capital last month, leaving them to evacuate with their families. Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Last month? Like, is he talking in February, January, or December? And when, what? Describing the aid agency all but abandoning them when looting and political violence exploded in Congo's capital last month, leaving them to evacuate with their families. The funding freeze and purge of top USAID officials meant agency staffers are now stranded in Washington without homes or agency funding. Without homes? Wait a minute, stranded in Washington without homes or agency funding and facing the loss of their jobs, staffers said in the affidavits. Judge handed the administration a setback last week, temporarily halting the plan that would have put thousands of workers on leave. Oh, but they changed that, though. And given those abroad only 30 days to return to the United States at government expense, his order was set to expire by the end of Thursday. Two associations representing federal employees asked him to continue his stay, as well as suspend Trump's freeze on almost all foreign assistance. The president's pause has shut down almost all of the thousands of U.S.-funded aid and development programs around the globe, USAID workers and humanitarian groups say. So sad. The judge questioned and probed the concept of legal standing, whether the unions can show the kind of legal harm that would justify a continued block on the Trump administration's plans. So that's fascinating. But the people talking about this are, again, a judge again. Now some people are complaining that it's a Canadian-American judge who was appointed a few weeks ago by Biden, declares that it's illegal to not send random foreigners infinity billions of dollars from the U.S. taxpayers. So that's one way to look at it. That's definitely one way to look at it, right? Oh, gosh. And some people are really going, they're going into some directions that maybe we don't need to. The Biden judge, Amir Hatem Mahdi Ali, bans Trump from freezing foreign aid. Ali was president of the radical MJC, which I don't know what the MJC is, confirmed November 2024. So this is a recently appointed judge, appointed by President Biden. And again, allowing the federal judge to have circumstantial power over the president is fucked up, folks. That judge has zero control of how my taxes are spent. So lots of people talking about this. Now, the reason I said I wanted to take a look at this chart, and this is what I was talking about. So here, full screen there. There we go. This is the organization of the government of the United States, right? This is the judicial branch, or excuse me, this is Congress, legislative branch, and what they're supposed to cover. So they're the architect of the Capitol, United States Botanic Garden, Government Accountability Office, Government Printing Office, Library of Congress, Congressional Budget Office. Then over here on the other side, you got the judicial branch, and the agencies they're over. United States Court of Appeals, United States District Courts, Territorial Courts, United States Court of International Trade, United States Court of Federal Claims, United States Court of Appeals for the Armed Forces, blah, 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 blah. All these different court systems, whatever. And then this is the executive branch, which has all these offices and also is in charge of all these departments and all these agencies. And so this branch, which is supposed to be a co-equal branch, is now telling this branch that they have to do things the way this branch and this branch tell them. Now, this branch over here, there's a lot of people in the branch, the legislative branch, who are supportive of what this branch is doing. And then there's several caterwauling all over the place. But it's interesting that this branch believes it can micromanage this branch. That would be the judicial branch. I don't know if you see my cursor or not because it's on a white thing, but so it's quite fascinating. Now, going to this tweet, here's a federal government organization chart. Observe what the president controls versus what the judiciary controls. These executive agencies, these are executive agencies, the actions of which only the president is held responsible. Now, someone here says, I fear that the president needs to print this out and show it to the media so that they can understand what's going on. The president is held responsible for what these agencies do, so therefore he needs to control them. Otherwise, this chart and this system makes no sense. So, now someone here says, if you read the Constitution of 1776, I don't think we find these agencies in there. Only the three branches. The military was created prior to it, and it reflects that the people live as sovereigns with none of this bureaucracy and taxation of income. So, yeah, that's true too. But they created the income tax later, so I don't know what to say about that. All right, so there you go. That's there's that. Now, also, the other day, or maybe it was the other day? Yesterday? No, it was Wednesday. I asked you guys if I should do a show just on the influencers and some of their stupid talking points. And the majority of you said yes. So I'll do a show specifically about that. But I wanted to highlight one. Now, this is not one of the normal influencers that I get a lot of stuff from, but this is a person who has 673,000 followers. Her name is Carol Cadwalader or something like that. This is her right here, Carol Cadwalader. And she posted this the other day. And I gotta address it a little bit here. So she put, this is what should be on the front page, or every front page right now. What's happening in the U.S. right now is an illegal power grab by a private citizen. It is a coup. It is a digital coup. It's Musk who's leading it. The consequences are terrifying, and it's coming for us next. She continues, please read this. I'm far from alone in saying it. The great Timmy blah, blah, blah. There's a superb, whatever, these people have all been shouting it. There's superb reporting happening in every aspect of what's happening, and there's no framing. It's all facts, no story. Now, I'm not going to go into that. But she's saying, This is a digital coup, a data coup. What must cyber troops, mercenaries have done is take control of the federal government's operating systems. No, they haven't. They got read-only access to some things, and they're going through it with a fine-tooth comb. They're but some 19 and 20-year-old, probably autists, who are auditing. The autists are auditing. So she's saying what they've done is taken control of the federal government's operating systems. They've downloaded or scraped vast quantities of data. No. She says it's a hack on an unprecedented scale. No, it's not a hack. A hack is when someone who has zero authorization comes in and takes your data. These people are auditing data on a read-only basis. So that's false. And the other part, they keep saying, they have access to all your data, your social security numbers. They have access to the payment system. No, they don't have any functional access. They can't change a payment anywhere. It's just dumb. She continues, what tech watchers understand is Musk is doing what Musk does. He's broken the law time and time again. Citation needed. He acts with impunity. It's the underlying model of Silicon Valley. Musk is simply applying this to the federal government. He expects to get away with it because he always has. No, he was actually appointed by the president of an existing agency that was created by Barack Obama that has been repurposed to do some auditing of the United States of America and give some transparency into what shit we're spending money on. And you all don't like it because a lot of it is shit you support. And they are exposing your graft. Yes, the USDS, correct, AD. Good morning, number one. And Andrew Thoston. How you doing? So, it's funny. Apple and like 15 other websites said my data was leaked. Experience said my shit is for sale on 28 dark websites. You think I care about big balls and the richest man in the world looking at my digits? No, not one of those other people wanted it yet. Mark's safe from big balls. Oh, well, there's a response to her. So anyway, no, this is not a coup. You don't even know the definition of a coup if you're calling this a coup. This is the elected executive branch of the United States doing some auditing of all the shit that the executive branch is supposed to be in charge of. That's what this is. Yes, we elected the president of the United States to get some of this shit fixed. And as it is not pleasing to you idiots, I don't give a shit. Okay? It's about time the government showed some transparency, because I guarantee I would have never heard about some of this bullshit that you've been spending money on in other countries had this not come out. So more power to them. Find all the bullshit and let's stop spending money on it. That's my 2 cents. There we go. All right. Now, and here's another example. Thank you, Gunfox. This is one of the articles Gunfox gave me. That is an example of this, of people saying, oh my gosh, Doge is taking over. Doge is doing this. Doge is doing that. Democratic Center says Doge is now the IRS. Oh, are they audited the IRS? Senator Rod Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, said Thursday that the Department of Government Efficiency staffers are now examining the Internal Revenue Service. Good. Is that a bad thing? Auditing the IRS? You think that's a bad thing, huh? Democrats have sounded the alarm over Doge and its leader Elon Musk attempting to overhaul the U.S. Agency for International Development and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and to gain access to the Treasury Department payment systems. No, they don't have access to the payment systems, but they've been given read-only access so they can go through and audit it. My office is hearing that Doge is now the IRS. Oh, that's dramatic. It means Musk's henchmen are in position to dig through a trove of data about every taxpayer in America. Oh, you mean like Google does? Wyden wrote on Thursday Post on a social platform X, which Musk owns. And if your refund is delayed, they could very well be the reason. Oh my God. It gets all of those. That is the biggest line of bullshit ever. Right now, it seems like Democrats' strategy, and all the media that's on the left, their whole strategy is to put terror, the fear, terror, whatever, into your heart to get you to motivate. And when they do this, I'm sorry, this reeks of the boy who cried wolf. They're calling everything a crisis. If everything's a crisis, nothing is a crisis. Audit is the new insurrection. Exactly. Anyway, he says, so, consistent with the goals and directives of the Trump administration to eliminate. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. He says if your refund is delayed, they could very well be the reason. That is complete, utter bullshit. Now, sources, sources familiar with the matter, that's the media's new favorite source, said that a top DOJ employee arrived at the IRS headquarters to review operations and meet with senior executives at the tax collecting agency, according to Reuters. Reuters also reported that senior executives at the IRS were instructed in an email on Thursday to identify all non-essential contracts for termination, consistent with the goals and directives of the Trump administration to eliminate waste, reduce spending, and increase efficiency. GSA, General Service Administration, has taken the first steps in a government-wide initiative to eliminate non-essential consulting contracts, the email says. President Trump responded to reports of DOJ embedding itself at the IRS on Thursday afternoon. Quote, I think the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else. Not just about everybody's going to be looked at. They, DOJ, doing a hell of a job. It's an amazing job they're doing, Trump said, of that effort. But this type of hyperbolic nonsense, well, if your refund's delayed, it's Trump's fault. It's the DOJ's fault. They're not touching any of that shit. They don't have anything to do with any of that. They don't have anything to do with the inner workings of the IRS. They're going and see it's very frustrating listening to these assholes. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to move on. Munich Security Conference is going on. Couple things. J.D. Vance, apparently, at this Munich Security Conference that's going on in Munich, a lot of people are touting J.D. Vance's speech there. So let's give you a part that everyone is talking about, because he pretty much told the Europeans, y'all need to get your shit together. Let me find the longer version here, because it's worth every minute of it. All right, there it is. J.D. Vance at the Munich Security Conference.
I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content. Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote,
he's talking about free speech in
misogyny
Europe.
on the internet, a day of action. I look to Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burnings that resulted in his friend's murder. And as the judge in his case chillingly noted, Sweden's laws to supposedly protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief.
Yeah, you could offend anybody.
And perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Adam Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for 3 minutes. Not obstructing anyone, not interacting with anyone, just silently praying on his own.
Literally, the dude was saying nothing. They said, "Are you praying?" The police were out there. "Are you praying?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm praying silently." And they arrested him. Craziness.
And after British law enforcement spotted him and demanded to know what he was praying for, Adam replied simply, it was on behalf of the unborn son he and his former girlfriend had aborted years before. Now, the officers were not moved. Adam was found guilty of breaking the government's new buffer zones law, which criminalizes silent prayer and other actions that could influence a person's decision within 200 meters of an abortion facility. He was sentenced to pay thousands of pounds in legal costs to the prosecution. Now, I wish I could say that this was a fluke, a one-off crazy example of a badly written law being enacted against a single person. But no, this last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens whose houses lay within so-called safe access zones, warning them that even private prayer within their own homes may amount to breaking the law.
Holy shit.
Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizens suspected guilty of thought crime. In Britain and across Europe, free speech,
Yes,
I fear,
Tyler.
is in retreat.
That shit is crazy. So that was J.D. Vance at the Munich security conference.
I look to Brussels.
Other news, though. Marco Rubio had a plane. His plane was forced to turn around when he was on his way to that conference. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on a plane to Germany on Thursday evening when the aircraft reportedly turned around at mid-flight and returned to the Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman James Risch from Idaho was also aboard the plane. Apparently, a mechanical failure was to blame. The State Department spokesman Tammy Bruce released a statement this evening en route from Washington to Munich. The plane on which Secretary Rubio was flying experienced a mechanical issue. The plane had to turn around and is returning to Joint Base Andrews. The Secretary intends to continue his travels to Germany and the Middle East on a separate aircraft. According to the Associated Press report, an official said the plane's mechanical issue had to do with the cockpit windshield on the C-32 converted Boeing 757, and it occurred about 90 minutes after the flight took off from Joint Base Andrews outside Washington. Now, I'm curious. I don't want to search for it right now, but I wonder how many depraved left-wing shitbags saw this and said they wish the plane went down. I'm just curious. I bet there's some out there, probably not the normal people, but some. I'm sure there's some shitbags out there who would say that kind of shit. Chernobyl. Now, we kind of really don't want to hear much about Chernobyl because that word alone brings back some pretty interesting memories of nuclear plant melting down. And the reason was a cracked windshield. Maybe they hit a duck. Who knows? Left-wing shitbags is redundant. Yes, I know that. Okay, let me get through this because I got to get through Gunfox's other articles here. And this is on the docket anyway. So anyway, apparently Ukraine says Russia has struck the Chernobyl nuclear plant with a drone attack. And some are questioning the timing of this. So let's look at the article first, and then we're going to go back and see some of the reactions. Now, the BBC, not the good kind, has they seem that it's definitive if you listen to the language. So this is how the BBC is reporting it. A Russian drone attack has hit the radiation shelter protecting Chernobyl's damaged nuclear reactor, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has said. So that's what he says happened. Interesting is they're just about to go into peace talks. That happens. I'm just saying. The overnight strike at the nuclear plant, which is the site of the world's worst nuclear accident, caused a fire that has since been extinguished. As of Friday morning, radiation levels inside and outside Chernobyl remain normal and stable, according to the UN's nuclear watchdog, the IAEA. Russia has denied any claims that attacked Chernobyl, stating its military does not strike Ukrainian nuclear infrastructure, and any claims that this was the case do not correspond to reality. So that's the Russians, what they're saying. The International Atomic Energy Agency, which monitors nuclear safety around the world, said fire safety personnel and vehicles responded within minutes to the overnight explosion. No casualties were reported. The agency remains on high alert after the incident, with its director, General Rafael Mariano Grossi, saying that there's no room for complacency. In 1986, if you're not familiar with Chernobyl, a catastrophic explosion at Chernobyl sent a plume of radioactive material into the air, triggering public health emergency across Europe. Zelensky posted footage on X appearing to show damage to the giant shield made of concrete and steel, which covers the remains of the reactor that lost its roof on the explosion. That shield is designed to prevent further radioactive material leaking out over the next century. It measures 275 meters wide and 108 meters tall and cost $1.6 billion to construct. Since 1990, Professor Jim Smith from the UK's University of Portsmouth has studied the aftermath of Chernobyl's nuclear disaster. And while he admits the strike was a horrendous attack on a very important structure, he is not concerned about the radiation risk. Now, again, this is according to one side, okay? Simon Evans from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development was head of the Chernobyl Shelter Fund, which oversaw the construction of the protective dome in the 2010. So anyway, so there's this strike on the Chernobyl plant. As you go on into X, some people are skeptical. In fact, here's Mario Knopfel. Did Zelensky bomb his own nuclear shelter? Kremlin thinks so. Maria Zakharova, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, says the provocation at Chernobyl NPP is yet another criminal action by the Kyiv regime. They're saying that the Kyiv regime did this. Each time in order to lobby for arms supplies, money, and to give Western media an opportunity to carry out anti-Russian info campaigns, Kyiv needs a scary and dangerous performance. So that's from the Russian government, okay? But the pictures that are showing, where's the, here's, let's see here. What is this? Breaking, Ukraine says Russia has struck Chernobyl nuclear plant with a drone attack. Anyone else find the timing very odd? So there's a few people on Twitter who are like, yeah, what? How does this happen? Russia wants peace. The U.S. wants peace. Weimar and Ukraine do not. Why would Russia sabotage its own peace efforts by bombing the Chernobyl power plant? Makes about as much sense as when they reported Russia bombed Poland or when they reported Russia blew up its own pipeline, which we've found out since that's not what happened. Here it is. Did you bomb Chernobyl so you can blame Russia in a desperate attempt to keep the money flowing? Zelensky. Who, me? So a lot of people on X are very skeptical of this. Very skeptical. Why, a drone attack at Chernobyl? Why would they do that? Now, here is Ed Krasenstein. Let's see how the influencers see this. Breaking. A Russian drone appears to have hit the shelter that protects the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and Russia is trying to blame it on Ukraine. Putin isn't going to end this war. Okay. Somebody at Russia attempted to breach the dome that keeps radiation in Chernobyl contained last night. Who does it? Now look, this is one of those things too. Why would they do this? This would be it's the dome that keeps the radiation contained, right? This would be just as detrimental to them as it would be to Ukraine, right? Like, this is not something you do not want nuclear material, radiation, whatever, flowing over Europe because the wind blows different ways. It would hurt everyone around Ukraine. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me. Dome struck in the protective shell covering the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Zelensky is blaming Putin. Anyone buying this? And now Republicans against Trump. Hours after Trump insisted that Putin wants peace, a Russian drone stuck the containment shell protecting the radioactive reactor at Chernobyl nuclear power plant, causing significant damage. Trump's weakness is only emboldening Putin to continue his war against Ukraine. I don't know. It certainly fits narratives that are helpful to who? Not to Russia, and not to people who are trying to, broker peace. So there you go. Now let me do this last article here. And this is related to. Oh, and Zelensky's trending because of this too. John Cardillo. It's now evident why they impeached Trump for the phone call with Zelensky. They wanted war. They needed the money laundered. Every one of these people should die in prison. John Rich, what John Bolton won't tell you is that in 2014, he and the warmongering Uniparty machine overthrew the duly elected government of Ukraine and installed Zelensky as their puppet. Trump is dismantling their machine right in front of their eyes, and there's not a damn thing they could do about it. Now, this is, again, he's reacting to John Bolton from a few days ago. And, we saw some of these reactions. Of course, there are reactions also to Trump saying that they're trying to broker a peace deal and Russia's ready. And remember, just a few days ago, Zelensky was talking about figure out ways to end the war too. So now this is from, let's see, who put this? This is this a strict MSM article, or where is this from? It doesn't say. This is an interesting article Gunfox sent me too. Trump's team allows Ukraine's NATO membership and return of 2014 borders. Now, I haven't heard this. This is from 8 hours ago, so I haven't seen it yet. The U.S. does not rule out the potential membership of Ukraine in NATO or the return of pre-2014 borders. So that would include Crimea, right? All of those issues will be discussed during negotiations between Ukraine, Russia, and European countries, State Deputy Ambassador of President Donald Trump to Ukraine, John Cole said. Wait a minute. It's not ruling out Ukraine NATO membership? I think the Russians would rule that out. Pre-2014 borders, maybe they'll figure out a way to do that. Anyway, right now, that is still on the table, he said in response to a question from the agency about whether the U.S. ruled out the possibility of Ukraine's NATO membership. Cole noted that the issue of possibly restoring Ukraine's borders to those that existed before 2014 also remains on the agenda. So, since the stuff that the first time they invaded Ukraine and took over Crimea during the Obama administration. According to him, official negotiations have not yet started. So why did they put this headline? This headline's a terrible headline. This is a terrible headline. Trump team allows Ukraine NATO membership and return of 2014 borders. Something that hasn't been negotiated. That's a terrible headline. People only read headlines, thinks, oh, NATO's going to take in Ukraine and they're getting rid of, Russians are going to leave all of Ukraine. Which, that would be great if they did, but no. That headline's terrible. Right, let's see. Cole noted the issue of possibly restoring Ukraine's borders to those existed before 2014. According to him, official negotiations have not started. And the U.S. is still discussing with European leaders and Ukraine how best to end the conflict. Where do the Ukrainians and Europeans fit into all this? At this point, we don't know. You have to have Europeans involved. The Europeans want this war stopped. They are more than willing to participate in supporting Kyiv's military. There are doubts as to whether they are going to give 100%, but everything I'm hearing indicates they are willing to get in there. Well, they should have already been in there. Ukraine is in Europe. It's not in North America or even in this hemisphere. Additionally, Trump deputy ambassador stated that Putin appears ready to enter negotiations with Ukraine without preconditions. There's been a lot of talk about the trip Steve Witkoff took to Moscow and how he met with Putin. Putin seems to be willing to play ball, but we're not sure what that means. I think he's ready to talk. When asked if the U.S. had conceded too much to Putin before the negotiations had even begun, Cole responded, "Some people talked out of turn. I don't think we're conceding anything. You don't know with Putin and the Russians. Are they trying to play us? Are they sincere?" And then you get to a table and you find out fast, the diplomat explained. These statements contradict messages recently delivered by U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth regarding negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. So is he saying Pete Hegseth spoke out of turn? On Wednesday, February 12th, U.S. President Donald Trump held a telephone conversation with Russian leader Vladimir Putin and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Following the discussions, the White House leader announced a good opportunity to begin negotiations for ending the war in Ukraine. On the same day, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth acknowledged during a Ramstein Council contact group meeting that a return of Ukraine to the borders that existed before 2014 was impossible. He also added that the U.S. does not view NATO membership for Ukraine as a part of the plan to the end of the war. Meanwhile, U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, stated that Ukraine would have to come to some agreement regarding a possible loss of territory, but not recognize it. The comments raised concern in Europe as they suggested that the U.S. may have made concessions to Putin even before the negotiation had started. EU High Representative of Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Joseph Borrell called Hegseth's comments appeasement that never works. Adding Ukraine to NATO would be, no pun intended, a red flag to Russia's. Don't you think? Holy shit. Anyway, so there you go. All right, guys. It's time. It's just time. I'm going to put the aggregator in today because I didn't get to any of the articles I was going to do. So I'm just going to close them all, and you can check out the aggregator yourself from Ace of Spades blog, JJ Sefton Morning Report. Lots of great articles in there today. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time for Friday Q&A. Shall we? Shall we? Everyone's favorite time on Fridays, Friday Q&A. Oh, I don't even have to share the stream. What am I doing? Let's just unpin that. It is Friday Q&A, folks. It is time of the week where I say, ask me anything. And you definitely ask me just about anything. The new tip link is up on the top of the chat. Let's go through Friday Q&A. Starting with, of course, Mr. Avocatus Diabli. Now, I kind of gave you a foreshadowing that this question may be one of those questions. Just, you know what I'm saying? One of those questions. Just one of those questions. So here we go. Avocatus Diabli asks, have you ever woke up to find yourself tied to a lamppost by 30 feet of sausage links wearing a matching green tutu and Kangol and a pair of those metal roller skates over penny loafers? No, I haven't. You have some interesting experiences, though. Avocatus Diabli asks, what would you do if self-repeating Franken-ants replaced your uvula with one of those old wads of paper that you could throw at stuff and would explode so that every time you swallowed, it popped? I think that would be a challenge, efficacious diably, because I like when I drink coffee, I swallow. By the way, it's Papa Bear Cup today. Let's just say that would be challenging. Somnambulant Nation asks, do you recall the name of your first Valentine crush? Yes, I do. I think it might have been in second grade, and her name was Sherry Arnold. Cute little thing. But I have no idea where she is now. Gunfox61, do you look in Discord? Yes, I saw some of these articles posted in Discord. I went through there yesterday just to go through all the different tabs on Discord to just see what was there, what was new. Like people haven't done memes for a while. There's a couple sections that haven't been done. So I'm going to start going into Discord more often just to see what's there. But yes, I do look in Discord. Avocado Diabli asks, if you had to choose between a Speedo and a jean jacket with a Bee Gees iron on, or a jock strap and a leather... Wait, hold on a second. Because I think I messed that up. Okay, let me try this again. If you had to choose between a Speedo and a jean jacket with a BG iron on, or a jock strap and a leather jacket with Taylor Swift's face painted on it to wear, which would you choose? Well, I don't necessarily like my butthole hanging out, so I suppose it would have to be the Speedo and the jean jacket with the Bee Gees iron on, because that, I'm just saying, it's a little bit less gay. All right, Avocados Diabli asks, will you be my Valentine? Well, I suppose figuratively, I love all my audience. Avocados Diabli asks, what was it like having to get used to switching from BC to AD? I imagine it must have taken a few years for you to date things correctly when it happened. Well, here's the problem. When it was BC, it wasn't BC because we didn't know there'd be an AD, so it wasn't a big change for me. And in fact, AD, no one's really thinking about AD probably till about the 4th century AD, so nobody cares. Nice try. And that's not funny. I'm not that old. Avocado Diabli asks, that's the other one. Gunfox61 says, I swear China sent cats around the world because cats, like China, are assholes. Okay, China is asshole. It's not a question, but I'm with you there. Avocado Diabli asks, what thing most insists upon itself in your opinion? What thing most insists upon itself in your opinion? Oh, easy. Government. Government insists on itself. There you go. That's the only answer. That is the only answer. I kind of understood the question. Willie asks, how to cure dragon ass? Coffee and exercise. Just coffee and get to walking. In fact, grab a cup of coffee, put it in a tumbler with a cover, and just take a walk around the neighborhood and sip coffee, and that'll cure dragon ass. Took him a while to deny it. Deny what? Tyre, Peanut Dad is so old. To get his true age, you have to cut his leg off and count the rings. Fuck off. Okay. Lord Stanhope asks, all the lonely people, where do they all come from? South Bronx. Avocado Diabli asks, if someone who has the power to freeze anything and then someone with the power to ignite anything fight, who wins? Oh, well, wait. I think the person who has the power to freeze anything, because the power to ignite, you'd freeze the person who ignites before it would ignite, maybe? Because you can't, once you're frozen, how are you going to ignite anything? I don't know, because you could melt the stuff too. I just do not know. That's a tough one. Lord Stanhope says, all the lonely people, where do they all belong? the bar. Just go to the bar. You meet somebody. There'll be somebody there. Jethro Header asks, will the price of gold pull back a little so Jethro can afford to acquire a bit more? Is it on its way to the moon forever? Or is it on its way to the moon forever and ever to become unobtainable? I think you meant unobtainable. Unobtainium? What is that? I think you mean unobtainable. I have no idea. Gold tends to be constant. Give me an example. The same amount of gold that it would cost to buy a suit, except for certain extreme times. But basically, the cost, the amount of gold it costs to buy a suit tends to remain the same, for example. So with inflation, you find that same, whatever, minuscule beat of ounce of gold, or tiny, whatever, gram of gold or whatever it cost, would buy a suit in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, so on. And with inflation, gold's more of a hedge against inflation, supposedly. And I think right now that might be why gold seems high, because of inflation. So who knows? But don't ask me. I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. Lord Stanhope asks, if you could live to 150 just to collect Social Security, would you? Only if I could still walk, move around, enjoy life. I would love to live to 100 if it was the way my grandmother lived to 100, because she was still mobile. She wasn't in a wheelchair. She was walking around. She had a great birthday, whatever. She was very lucid, no loss of memory or anything like that. That would be fine. But if I'm like, I was going to say, if I'm like Mitch McConnell, no, if I can't function, I would never want to live that long. But if you could live to 150 and still be functioning, hell yeah, it'd be cool, and you'd be a Guinness World Record holder. If you're not sure about the, what he was referencing, the Social Security check, apparently they found some, as they was going through the Treasury Department, they were finding that some people who's on paper would be 150 years old were still being sent checks or something, somehow. So that's what that's in reference to. Avocado Ciabli asks, do you think anyone has ever had a frozen haggis removed from their rectum at the emergency room? Well, at least you didn't ask it as a hypothetical scenario that maybe you might have experienced. Yeah, a frozen one, maybe not a frozen one, maybe a fresh, completely thawed one. Who knows? Lord Stanhope asks, what government agency besides the IRS would you like to see go extinct? I'm not an expert on government agencies. I mean, I think that so many of these agencies are redundant in some ways. So when they're talking about this agency that Elizabeth Warren brought about that kind of monitors the banking system, well, there's like 7 or 8 different agencies that already monitor the banking system. The ATF, that might be a good one. Here, let's see. I'm looking through here. Let's see. I had to dig up the list of agencies. In fact, here's what I'm looking at right here. Let's try this. Did you know that? Okay, listen to some of the names of these agencies. So the Administrative Conference of the United States, African Development Foundation, Broadcasting Board of Governors, Central Intelligence Agency, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Consumer Product Safety Commission, Corporation for National and Community Service, Defense Nuclear Facilities Safety Board, Environmental Protection Agency, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Export-Import Bank of the United States, Farm Credit Administration, Federal Communications Commission. There's so many of these. How about Okay, there's something called the Inter-American Foundation. What the fuck does that do? It's probably just that's a money laundering agency. Period. I mean, what do they do? What do they do that's so important? Oh, and the IRS. I forgot about that. The IRS. There you go. That's my real answer. All right, moving on. Where am I at here? Lord Stand-Up asks, as a professional bartender, do you have a favorite bitters? Angostura. That's the only one I've really used much of. Avocados Diabli. If I were to time travel into the past and write all the hit songs of yesteryear before the artist who actually wrote them, would that be a copyright violation? No, it would not. And you'd be very, very wealthy. You'd be wealthier than Biff. You know who Biff is, right? Back to the Future, baby. God Fox asks, a buddy told me a story. If a girl spikes her guy's drink with a blue pill as a joke, and he got stuck in her, had to go to medical center after 2 hours, finally got unstuck. Joke's on her. She got stuck with 3? God Fox, I have no idea what that means. But holy shit, that'd be weird. That'd be really weird. She spiked his drink and then got stuck. He got stuck in her. Is it even possible to get stuck in someone? I don't know. I don't want to find out. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of questions. I got to go through this fast. Okay, this kind of have to be lightning round now because I'm out of time. Lord Stand-Up asks, do you think Doge is still a cute doggo? Oh, that whatever that dog is. I wouldn't care if Doge was the biggest bulldog on the planet. Lord Stand-Up, the view of joining together to form a postmenopausal mutant Voltron. You decided to save the world by flying a 747 through its heart. What song is playing as this happens? Back in Black. That's it. Or maybe Enter the Sandman. Anyway, Lord Stand-Up, MSNBC becomes an all-nude network to increase revenue. Your wife decides to watch for the comedy horror value. As you join her, what do you drink to fortify yourself? And what show do you skip? It'd have to be a whole 175 of Don Julio. And oh my God. What show do you skip? Well, Chris Hayes, because he's a dude. Well, sort of. He might be Rachel Maddow, but I don't want to see Rachel Maddow. I don't want to see any of them. Al Sharpton, that's the show you skip. Nobody wants to see Al Sharpton naked. All right, Lord Stand-Up, what do you lean? What do you think of lean purple drink, and would you recommend it to anyone? No, I don't. I don't never. Lean is a concoction of some drugs and watermelon Arizona tea or some shit. And no, I ain't doing that. I don't need highs. Godfox says, Marty, since when does the U.S. owe other nations or any aid whatsoever? I say and at all, expect nations that have military reasons to get aid, but no aid or food or anything to these ungrateful ones. Yeah, I mean, I understand helping people who are starving in certain parts of the planet, but then, there's so much bullshit that we've been setting money out on. Let's start there and pare it down to very little. Lord Santa, what's worse, being butt naked in a pitched battle between Romans and Macedonians, Legion versus Phalanx, or wearing a beeping orange suit during the Battle of Normandy? Boy, that's a tough one. I suppose the beeping orange suit in Normandy, you'd be a target more than you would be if you're naked in the Battle of Romans and Macedonians. So let's go with the latter. Lord Santa, what's your favorite brand of cigarettes? None, zero, nada. My dad smoked Winston's, but I'm never been a fan of cigarettes. Lord Stanhope, is it off-putting when a man looks too manicured? Not necessarily. No, I don't care. No. Lord Stanhope asks, is there any place you'd rather be shot, flesh wound, than visit on vacation? Wait. Is there any place you'd rather be shot than visit on vacation? Well, look, most of the places where I would answer are places that I might get shot anyway. So, inner city Detroit or south side Chicago, or, I don't want to visit there. If I'm going to Chicago, I'm going to be up in the Lincoln Park section, maybe around Wrigley Field or some shit like that, or, downtown getting a Italian beef. Lord Santa asks, Ayanna Pressley is starring in a DEI remake of X-Men, or starring, Ayanna Pressley is starring in a DEI remake of X-Men, starring as Professor X. Who will be her X-Men? Oh, I don't have time to think about that. I'll have to figure that one out later. Because there's I can't think of any actors right now. Carl Weathers could be Carl Weathers as Beast. Halle Berry. Well, she's already an X-Men. I don't know. Anyway. Avocados Diablo, have you ever owned a Kangol? No, I never have. And that was a big thing when I was a kid. Like, Kangol started becoming big in the late 70s and then in the 80s. But no, I never owned a Kangol. Kangol is a type of hat for those who are not culturally sufficient. Select Boy asked, so hypothetically, if we go to war with Ukraine, which warmongers will Donald Trump send to fight that war? I would hope Adam Schiff would be on the front lines, but that's just me. Avocados Diablo, what is better carnival prize, the Def Leppard Coke mirror or the rainbow-colored feather roach clip? Oh, definitely the Def Leppard Coke mirror. Come on, man. Avocados Diablo, what funk song would be the best covered as a metal song? Oh, I skipped one. Hang on, I'll get to go back. I skipped a couple. Oh my God, I skipped Benny. What the hell did I do there? Let me go back. Avocados Diablo, what is the most insulting way you can kill someone? Insulting way you can kill someone. Dropping them into a cage full of silverbacks. That'd be insulting. Avocados Diablo, what is your favorite color for corduroy jeans? That's a trick question. I see that trick question. None, because I would never wear corduroy jeans. I did have one pair of corduroys back in the 70s. They were brown. So that'd be good. Brown. Selected Boy, are you already sick of hearing the price of eggs is going up over and over again? Yeah, because it's a stupid argument. It has nothing to do with the current administration. Selected Boy, if you could have the ability of any animal, what would it be? Probably, good question. The first thing that came to mind was a cheetah, because you'd be really fast, but I don't know if that's true or not. If I'd want to be the abilities of a cheetah. Oh, you know what would be cool? Like one of those giant chameleon, whatever, that you could camouflage yourself, change colors. You could just kind of blend in and watch shit. Anyway, what funk song would be the best covered as a metal song? Jeffrey Osborne, Baby Stay With Me Tonight. That would be a really good one as a metal song. Gutfox, Marty, did you go to those Diddy parties and find the lube okay? Diddy was asking on X. What are you not telling us? Yeah, no, I've never been to a Diddy party. Sorry, that's not even funny. It is kind of funny. Selected Boy, who's really America's team in the NFL right now? the team that could be considered America's team, a team that nobody hates. Well, everybody hates some team. I mean, the Packers were for a while, and then some people got mad at Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. It's definitely never really been the Cowboys, though. They I don't know where they came up with that shit. Lord Santa almost forgot what's for dinner tonight. Who knows? Because Lady Boomer's not feeling well, so we might just have a pizza or something at home. Lord Stand-Up, will you have a good weekend? Always do. Avocado Stabby, maybe Trump should just rename all the agencies so acronyms spell out slurs and offensive words. That would get the left to hate them, wouldn't it? For example, Federal Aviation Group. Yes, the Federal Aviation Group, they would be really upset and never want that agency to be funded. Perfect. Lord Stand-Up, if you were granted the power to drop building on people, who would you drop them on? Well, the Democratic National Committee? No, that wouldn't be right. Those, I know exactly who. Those Patriot Front assholes. That just drop a building on those motherfuckers. They're full of shit. Avocado Seattle, is this the last question? No. Is it? No. Well, is it? No. And finally, Avocado Stiabi says, can we do a Q&A one day where we send you answers and you give us the questions? You know, Jeopardy style. We can try that someday. And finally, the last question on Friday Q&A comes from Selecta Boy. Yeah, boy. Do you have a gangsta lean? So, to answer that question, thank you for participating in Friday Q&A, everybody. Lady Boomer and I, at one time, we owned a 1968 Chrysler New Yorker. We just bought it from this kid because we thought it was cool. It was a neat old car. We went to car shows and whatever. And we got it for cheap, so it wasn't like we spent a lot of money on it. But it had a steering wheel about this big, like it was a huge ass steering wheel. And you could fit 4 people comfortably across the front and back bench seats. And sometimes when I was driving that, I'd get that hand up there and I'd do my little gangsta lean. I'm going to talk over to Lady Boomer, who was about 10 feet away over there. Hey, honey, what's up? We're doing a gangsta lean. So, yeah, I do have a gangsta lean. I do. All right, guys. That concludes the show. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you all have a great weekend. Let me drop the links into the chat. Here we go with the one tab link, which is what the hell happened there? Why did that close automatically? What the hell happened? Huh. Okay, well, new window, Brave. Let's find out what happened to my one tab. Okay, well, there'll be no links today. I'll drop them in the chat as soon as I figure it out. Anyway, I gotta go. Thanks everybody for joining me this week, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back Monday with a regular show. As always, you guys have a great weekend. I gotta go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye bye. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.